Hey guys, it's Stuart live for CED Magazine and live from the show. I'm at the Cable Show 2013. We're really at the Cable Show 2013 because we're kind of at the epicenter of things, located between the Observatory and Imagine Park, two special attractions that have been created by the NCTA. Speaking of which, I'm with Mark Bell. Mark is Vice President Industry Affairs and one of the thinkers and architects behind this show. It's kind of a special show for you guys, for the industry, because it's in Washington, D.C. Just, I don't know, talk a little bit about what that means in terms of your thinking and planning about this show.
That's certainly no accident. The NCTA sees an opportunity for cable to tell its story in Washington, D.C., one that is vastly different than it was in 2009, the last time the show was here in Washington, D.C. So it's a chance for us to reintroduce our industry to those who would shape its future.
Part of telling that, a big part of telling that story is the Observatory. So I wanted to talk about that because this is an ambitious effort, and it's right behind us here. Tell us what the Observatory is all about.
So the Observatory is new for us. The concept of the association taking booth space to tell a great story is not new. Doing it with words and images and video as opposed to solely product demonstrations is new. But the Observatory is all about telling cable's story, its innovative past, the fact that cable has been a disruptive innovator all along. We're getting America where it wants to go in the information age, and our powerful platforms are enabling new types of products and services that solve big problems or solve problems that weren't solved well. So the story in Washington is we've been innovating all along. There's no reason to think we'd stop now, and we have a bright future powered by broadband.
It's interesting because I strolled briefly through the Observatory, and you sort of take people on the journey, right? From kind of, there's these old photos, historic photos, dawning days, satellite, and then all the way through to some of the emerging applications and things that are being done on different screens or on display there as well.
Right, not so much a history lesson. I think the history of the industry is certainly well known by us, but I think it's important to remind people that cable have had some key moments in our innovation timeline where we really changed the world. The fact that we were the first few satellites to launch the first multi-channel delivery system for television. The fact that we evolved our networks, we made them fast, we turbocharged them with fiber, made them two-way, and allowed us to begin to offer digital television services, high definition. It allowed us to make the internet always on, and then fast, and then super fast. And by doing so, then you really move into a second golden age of television and this whole era of personalized television. So what you like, on the device you like, wherever you happen to be, wherever you have the time to do it.
I think that golden age is here now. I mean, the water cooler conversation is really about cable programming now. The ratings are about cable programming now, so it's kind of the sweet spot for this new era. This is the third year mark for Imagine Park.
It is.
For those who haven't been, even for those who have been, what's Imagine Park all about and what's new this year?
You know, innovation in the cable industry needs an address at the Cable Show, and this is it from our view. Imagine Park is our live event stage on the show floor for product announcements, breaking news, and general thought leadership. We produce it much like a TV show, not that you wouldn't know because you are one of our hosts,
Right.
but we invite guests to come and spend 10 impactful minutes showing us something amazing, showing us something we've never seen before, telling us where the future of media and entertainment is going. So it's been a great ride. It's year 3. I think we've probably got 40 or 50 companies.
What else at the show, just in terms of closing thoughts or observations? I mean, these all have a different flavor. You go from city to city, and that has an influence on the experience and the show. But I guess it's hard to get away from the DC theme. But what else is sort of will be memorable to you about Cable Show 2013?
I think the industry sees an opportunity to do something in Washington that maybe we won't do with this much focus in other cities. From an association perspective, we spend 300 days a year on the Hill talking about our issues.
Right.
And this is an opportunity for our industry to celebrate what it is people love about great television, what it is they love about powerful broadband connections. So you'll see the programmers putting a little more flair in what they do. For the first time in years, we've relaxed the no promotion zone rule, and so we're allowed to do things outside of your booth in and around the city that lets our community know that cable's in town and all about interesting new things that we're doing.
I've seen it walking to and from the convention center. You see that presence out there. You're probably the busiest man at the Cable Show 2013. So for taking a few minutes to kind of sort of wax poetic about what's going on here, much appreciated.
Always my pleasure, Stuart.
Mark Bell from NCTA for CED Magazine's Live from the Show. I'm Stuart Schlott.